I need a haircut. That's why I gotta keep my head covered because I look a mess. What's up, my nieces, and welcome back to my channel. So I told y'all that I was gonna give y'all a little bit of an update about what's going on and what happened with Vlogmas. And so yeah, that's pretty much what this is. Okay, so for those of you who have been following my channel and know that I was doing Vlogmas, you will notice that I stopped at day 17. So there were a few reasons for this. So the first thing that pretty much happened, if you follow me on Instagram or you know my family, we lost my grandma, my dad's mom, and so I found out that information, and so I ended up taking a little bit of a break from Vlogmas because I really wanted to take time to process and to be there with my family and just to kind of not worry about it. And just, you know, it was a difficult time, especially for my dad. So my main priority was not YouTube. It was not to post. It was not to update everybody. My main goal was to spend that time with my family and be there with my family. And so I found that out on a Monday. And then, of course, the service was that weekend. And so for that whole week, I really didn't even worry about YouTube at all. I wasn't worried about recording or anything like that because, again, it was a hard time for us. So I really just wanted to make sure that I was allowing myself to process everything that happened and to be there for my dad and my mom and my brothers and allow my family to go through the grieving process. Yeah. So I did post on my Instagram that I was going to try and get everything updated again. But then more problems arose. So right after that, I was planning to vlog Christmas for you all, which I did. And again, I will be releasing that video because I still want y'all to see it and just share those moments with us. We got to spend it in the cabin, so it was a lot of fun. But the issue that arose was on December 24th, on the way to the cabin, our new car, the one I talked about in the We Finally Got a Car video, our car caught on fire. So it was me and my husband and my 5-month-old were in the car. My oldest daughter was actually riding with my parents, which I'm really grateful that she was at the time. But I was on my computer because I work from home, but I was working in the car as we were headed that way. And my husband, we were driving on the highway, getting ready to go and actually pay more on this car because, you know, we got it from a dealership. So we were going to put down extra money on it just to, you know, get ahead of payments and stuff like that. But we were actually going to fill out the paperwork to put the payments down. And so he was driving, my husband was driving. And because of our last car, Bertha, may she rest in peace, she had a lot of problems, and so he was very kind of on high alert anytime that we drive. He still is now, but he smelled something and he was like, babe, you know, something smells weird. And he was like, do you smell that? And I'm like, no, like, I don't know. And then I started to, and I was like, yeah, it smells kind of like something is like rubber is burning. And so my husband looked down by his foot. So it's like the brake and the gas, and then his foot, you know, of course, was driving. And then right by his foot, right where kind of like where the speaker was, the middle of the car, that section of the car started melting. And then we looked and we noticed there were flames coming up from, it was burning a hole in the car. And so it just started, like, orange flames just started slowly crawling up the side of the car and the door. And so my husband pulled over. He had turned the hazards on. He pulled over. And he quickly unlatched my 5-month-old's car seat out of the car. And I didn't even have time to, like, think. I just left my computer because my primary thing was, okay, I need to get my baby out of here. But, you know, he got to her before I did, which I'm very grateful for. And He didn't stop to try to turn it off or anything. We walked away from the car as far as we could. On the highway, I called my job and let them know. He called the police, and it, like, I guess it just went up from there because the doors were closed, so we couldn't really see the extent of the damages until the police got there. And it was cold outside, so I'm grateful that there's a man who pulled over, and he was like, hey, do you all want to sit in here with me? You know, I don't want you sitting outside in the cold with your baby. And so we sat with him until the fire department came. They opened the doors, and it was literally just smoke that came up from the doors. It was like a huge black cloud that came out of the car and went up into the air. So they sprayed the car down really well, and I was able to go and get my computer out of the car once they finished spraying it down. So it ended up burning behind the steering wheel. The lights and stuff started flashing and going crazy because it was burning all of the wiring, and then it burnt up through on the driver's side roof. And so and the door was burnt too. So it didn't spread as far, I believe. With the windows up and the doors closed, it ended up suffocating itself. And that's what kind of stopped it from spreading. So we were able to save like my computer and my work stuff. We were able to save my daughter's car seat base. And we were able to save like the little stuff that we did have in the car. So I'm grateful for that. I didn't have to buy another computer or anything. But after that, we had to call the dealership and let them know what happened, and they sent out a tow truck. So we ended up going to a restaurant at the nearest exit and waited for the truck to get there. So it started off as a simple morning. It was like 10 a.m. By the time we got back on the road, it was very, very late, and we still had to drive all the way to the cabin, which was a few hours away from where we were. I am grateful for the dealership that we went to because they did end up getting us a car for that weekend. They were just like, we'll give y'all something to drive just to, you know, still go be able to spend time with your family. So we got in the car, and then it started snowing. And so as we were driving there, my mom was like, y'all are going to have to be really careful because the roads here are icing over. And so we were just like, so much stuff had happened in that day already, but my husband was like, we're going to have a good Christmas. Like, we're still going to have a good Christmas. And we did. So the roads did ice over. So my dad actually had to drive down from the cabin and down the road. We had to park at the bottom of the hill, and he had to come get us from the car and then take his truck and drive his truck back up to the cabin because the roads had iced over so bad. And like our chef that we had for Christmas, he got snowed in with us. Like, that's how bad it was. He couldn't get down the hill because it had iced over. So yeah, with all that, Vlogmas kind of was not in the forefront of my mind. Of course, it was a lot, and that isn't everything that happened. That's just kind of what put the icing on the cake, put the, you know, cherry on top of the sundae. So it was a lot. It was very kind of nerve-wracking. I never experienced anything like that, and you know, it was terrifying to have my baby with me because it's easy for me and my husband to jump out of the car, and I'm thankful, you know, grateful to God that he smelled it first, and that it kind of burned slow until we got out. Pretty sure after we got out, it kind of like went up, but I'm grateful that it didn't just combust while we were driving. So it could have been a lot worse, and you know, my family could have been hearing a lot of different news for Christmas. So again, I'm grateful and very blessed that we made it, and we made it without a scratch. So yeah. But yeah, so if you wanted to know what happened as far as Vlogmas goes, that's what it was. I was a little upset because I only had like 8 days left, and I was really trying to make it all the way to Christmas. But, you know, life happens. And again, I wasn't going to sacrifice myself and, you know, the mental time that I needed in order to get videos out. So yeah, but if you want to see what I did do for Vlogmas, if you go back on my channel, all of the videos that have the little blue snowy background are all of my Vlogmas videos from day 1 to day 17. The day 1 video shows kind of like the layout of what I chose to do for Vlogmas. So if you're a little confused, then go check that video out first and then go through the rest of them. But hopefully, prayerfully, next year, if I do decide to do it again, we'll be able to make it all the way through. So yeah, but that's it and that's all. So if you like this video, make sure you give it a like. If you got something to say, please put it down in the comments below. Y'all know I love responding to y'all. I always try to respond to everyone because I'm really grateful for everyone being here. And if you're new here, hello. I'm glad that you are here supporting me. So go ahead and subscribe and become one of my sweet, sweet nieces and hit my notification bell like that, so you can catch up on any time that I post and just stay updated with me. But that's it and that's all. I love y'all and we'll see you shortly.